start. As you can see that I have created the project and I'm able to run the project as you can see on the screen. So a couple of things that I want to tell you before proceeding further. First is that I'll be using a circular font for this application. As you can see that this is my fonts folder. You can download the font, circular font from internet or wherever you wish. And in PubSec YAML, I have also referenced the fonts variable. For dependencies, I have installed 3 dependencies: URL launcher, shared preferences, and HTTP. All you have to do is after Cupertino icons, write URL underscore launcher, shared underscore preferences, and HTTP colon. By this, you will be installing 3 plugins. So this I have already done. So we'll proceed after this. So this is a basic skeleton app that everyone will get whenever a new project is created. So what we're going to do is Control A and delete. We have deleted the whole code and we'll write the code from scratch. So let's quickly start by importing our material package. After that, we'll declare our void main function. Inside this main function, we're gonna call our run app method. Inside this, we call our material app, and material app takes up home as a parameter. Inside home, we'll pass home widget. Now this home is yet to be created. Don't worry, we'll create it right now. So what we're gonna do is inside lib, create a new file and name it as homepage. Inside this homepage, import the material package, and this time create a stateful widget. I'll tell you why we are creating a stateful widget, because I'll be requesting all the API calls from my homepage only, right? So I'll call it homepage. So here we'll change from home to homepage, right? Now next thing, from here we're gonna return a scaffold. Scaffold will take up app bar as a parameter and will pass just a simple app bar. And you can see that we have a blank screen and a blank app bar. Now a couple of things to do. Go to your material app and set the property debug show check mode banner as false, so that this property is false. Next is add a theme property. Inside this, pass theme data. Inside this theme data, as a font family, pass circular, so that by default all the text is following the circular style. Next is our primary color. For the primary color, I have chosen a custom color. Let me show you. I have it written in a file. So this is the color code for it. So what I'm going to do is go to lib, create a new file and name it as data source. Now inside this data source file, sorry for the spelling mistake, and we're gonna import the material.dart file and then paste the color code. So this will be the color code for us, primary black, and this is the color that will be falling for our primary color. So we'll pass dark, or rather primary black. Done. We're gonna restart this app, and you can see that the app bar automatically took the color of the primary color. So that's how we'll be following further. So now let's quickly see what is our UI. So this will be our home page. We are having a grid here, and then the selected region, most affected countries, and then we have the country statistics, right? So let's quickly start building our app. For title of my app bar, I write text and name it as COVID-19 tracker. Save it, and you can see that we have the title. Now what I'm gonna do is, I don't want the title to be in the center, so I'll set the center title property as false. Now next, for the body, now the whole UI will be divided into some parts. Let me just show you. Now I'm gonna call this part as the worldwide grid, and this part as the most affected part, most affected panel, you can say, and this will be my info section, right? Done. Now we have a very beautiful code written here. So I have the code written in a text file. What I'm gonna do is go to your data source file, create a class named data source, and inside this class I'm gonna paste the code here. So I have this file and I'm gonna paste my code here. There you go. So I have the code. So wherever I want the code, I can directly refer to this code variable. Now next thing is the FAQ section. Right now the FAQ section will be static, that is all the question and answers will be in the project itself. So what we are going to do is, I have all the question and answers prepared for you. So you are going to just copy this list up and paste here. There you go. So this is the list of our question and answer. As you can see that I have a list of maps, question, and then in the answer, right? So what we're going to do is, for the body, I'm going to pass a column and I'll wrap this column into a single child scroll view. Now why am I wrapping this into single child scroll view? Because column itself cannot be scrolled, that is column is unscrollable. So to make it scrollable, you have to wrap it inside a single child scroll view. Alternatively, you can also use list view for the scrolling effect, right? As a children, I'll pass the different widgets. So the first child will be our container. Let me just show you the UI. As you can see that we have a container of color orange, and inside it we have the code written. So what we're going to do is, we'll quickly make a container, give it a height of 100 and a color of maybe orange, a light orange, so shade 100 of it. And as a child, I'm gonna pass a text, and in the text I'm gonna pass data source. That is, our code is inside the data source class, so data source dot code, right? To style it, we're gonna style it with like color of maybe orange with a shade of maybe 800, and then we're gonna bold it out. And for the size, I'm gonna pass 16. So let's save it and see what happens. There you go. So you can see that we have the container. Now this needs to be in the center. Now to make it inside center, you can either wrap the text widget into center, or we have the alignment property in the container. So I write alignment and alignment dot center. So the text is in the center. Now we're gonna give some padding to the text. So I'll give the padding maybe 10 pixels from all the sides. There you go, looks much better, right? Now next is our worldwide grid. So for that, I'll create another class, another widget in another file. So what we're gonna do is, inside lib folder, create a new package and name it as widgets, or I'll say panels, right? Inside this panels, make a new file and name it as worldwide panel, right? Now in worldwide panel, we'll be creating the grid for us. So quickly import the material package, create a stateless class. Now see, all the stateful action will be done inside our home page only, and all the data will be passing to different widgets from our home page only. I'll explain you, don't worry. Now we'll write worldwide panel, right? Now this worldwide panel as a child will take a grid view, and this grid view will take a grid delegate. Here will pass sliver, grid delegate with fixed cross axis count, and as a cross axis count we're gonna pass 2, and for the child aspect ratio I'm gonna pass 2, right? What does this child aspect ratio mean? That the width of the widgets in grid will be twice the height of the widget, right? We're gonna get a good rectangle for us, right? Now this takes children. For children, we're gonna pass 4 palettes. So I'm gonna write status panel. I'm gonna just copy it 4 times. The status panel is yet to be created, so we'll quickly create a stateless widget and name it as status panel. See, what you're gonna do, what you could have done is that you could have also written the same code here also, but now this enables us to refer to same code again and again without writing the code itself, right? For the container part, I'm gonna give it a height of 80 and a width by 2. Now what is the width? Width will be the device width. So how to get the device width? Right, double width equals to media query dot of dot size dot width. Done. We got half of the width and the height as 80. Now what we're gonna do is, as a child, I'm gonna pass a column, and so inside this column as children, I'm gonna pass two text widget. Now inside this text, I'm gonna write confirmed. Just for understanding purpose, I'm writing this stuff. So next thing will be to style it. Let us just style it. For the styling part, I'm gonna style it, just hold it out, and size will be 16. Same goes for the other count also. So style, so size will be 16 and weight will be bold out. I guess done. Now for the color of this container, let me just give it a color of blue and a 100 shade of this blue color, right? So you can see that we have passed the status panel again and again. Now what we're going to do is, inside this home page, after this container, I'm gonna pass a text, write worldwide here, right? After this, what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna write the worldwide panel. That's it, done. Now one more important thing is that grid view by default takes up the entire space, so you have to constrain the grid view into some height or some container. So what we're gonna do is, we have a property known as shrink wrap. So I'm gonna wrap this into shrink wrap true, and for the physics it will be never scrollable, scroll physics. Why? Because I don't want the grid itself to be scrollable. My whole page is scrollable, but I don't want the grid itself to be scrollable, right? For the worldwide panel, let's save it and see what happens. Now you can see that we have got a grid. All the grid color is 100. So what we're gonna do, go to this, and for this container, and give it a margin of maybe 5 pixels will do, right? So agent sets all 5. Save it, and there you go. We have some padding for our status panels. Now next thing is the heading. So quickly go to home page, and before this, just before this, write text, right, world right here, right? Put a comma, save it, and you can see that worldwide can be seen here. So for styling part, what I'm gonna do is text style, and for the size, I'll be giving it a 22 size and bold it out, and bold, and you can see, and this looks much better. Now we're gonna give some padding to this. So for that, let's just wrap this text with a padding, and instead of all, I'm gonna say only symmetric and vertical axis. So from vertical it should be 10. Save it, and you can see that we have a cool padding for us. And next is, now you can see that this title is coming in center, because by default our column has a cross-axis alignment to be center, so it aligns every widget to center. So to change that, what we're gonna do is set the cross-axis alignment to the start value, right? Save it, and you can see that we have the text in the starting. Now for this, now for the padding of this text, now for the horizontal value, I'll set it to 10, so that I get a 10 pixel padding for my worldwide text also. Maybe we can change the padding of these grids from 5 to 10. This will help, right? Good. Now Again, this column is aligning this to start position. To make it into center, what we're going to do is main axis alignment and give it a value of center. There you go. So you can see that the values are now in center. These values are all random values, static values that we have given, but we want the values to be dynamic, fetched from an API. Now if we see the UI, you can see that all the colors are different to make it more attractive and more informational. So what we're going to do is we're going to declare some variables here and pass the values from the upper widget to this status panel. So what we're going to do, final color, panel color, then final color, text color. As you can see in the UI, the panel color and text colors were different. Final text, final string title, that is for this it will be confirmed, it will be recovered or active, whatever, and final string count. So how many counts are there for the different status, right? Now this is giving the right lines because it is wanting us to make a constructor. So we'll create a constructor out of it. Now what we're going to do is, for the first status panel, as a title, I'm going to pass confirmed. Done. As a panel color, I'm going to pass colors.red and 100 shade of it. Done. And as a text color, I'm going to pass colors.red. Good to go, right? What else are we missing? The count value. Count value here I'm passing 1, 2, 3, a random value right now. We'll change it, don't worry. Now just copy this and paste it here. And I'm gonna accordingly give the colored values to this. So for first it was red, for the second the title will be so as you can see that I have passed different values to the status panel, but the values are yet to be used inside the values are yet to be used below, right? So instead of this text confirmed, I'll write title. Instead of this 1, 2, 3, 4, I'll write count. Done. Instead of, now for the color properties, instead of this blue, I'm gonna write color, panel color, and for the text color, I'll be writing inside the text style. Done. Save it, and you can see that the colors are now changed. So these are the colors that I gave, and you can see that now our UI is up and ready for the first one. Now let's see how we can fetch from the API and which API we'll be using and how we can integrate that API into our application. So for that, go to Chrome, write corona.lamau.ninja. This is the API that is open sourced on GitHub and I'll be using that. Write /all. When you're gonna get this API, you're gonna get a map, and there you can get all the cases, today dates, today cases, deaths. So we'll be using cases, deaths, recovered and active here, right? So it's your wish. You can also use critical, how you want the UI. I'll be using all the 4, the most important 4. So what we're gonna do, go to your home page. This is a stateful widget. That's why we created, that's why we made it a stateful widget, because we'll be calling API from this widget and pass it to the worldwide panel. So how to pass? Let's see. So first of all, import the HTTP package that we installed earlier and write as HTTP, because the functions of the HTTP package and the inbuilt packages of Flutter can coincide. So we use as HTTP to name the package. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna make a function, name it as fetch worldwide data, and write a sync here. Now we'll write http.response response equals to await http.get, and here write the URL from which you will be getting the or fetching the data. So go to your browser, copy this URL and paste it here. Now after this, the result that you are getting is in the JSON format. So for that you need to get a map and to decode it into JSON. So create a map, we'll name it as world data. Right now this value is right now null. So call set.State because we want to rebuild the UI after getting the data, and we'll write world data equals to JSON dot decode, and here you write response dot body. Now why was this decoding important? Because the body that you get as a response is in string format, and you want the body to be decoded into JSON format or map format, right? So this does the work. Now after this function is called, wait, this function is not even called right now. To call the function, we'll declare the init state function, and inside that method we'll call fetch world data. Done. After this, now whenever this function will be called, that is first time when the UI will be built, this init state function method will be called, and this method will automatically be called, and our world data map will be populated. Now by the time it is not getting populated, we want to show some indicator, right? So for that, what we're going to do, we're going to say world data is null, question mark, that is if world data is null, show circular progress indicator. Otherwise, if it is null, then only show the worldwide panel. And inside this worldwide panel, what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a map, final map world data, and pass it through the constructor of this. So I'll write world data as world data. That's it, done. Now you can see that if the world data is null, you can see the circular progress indicator, and after the data is fetched, you can see the panel actually coming up in the UI. Now one thing, this is all 1 to 3 because we have given static values to this. How to give real values? So let's see the response that we get. We got a response, and we can see we can get the values using the key cases, deaths, recovered and active. Let's use them. So for confirmed, I'm going to write world data cases, and don't forget to convert it to string because down here we're expecting a string. So in response we're getting an integer value. So instead of 1 to 3 here, we're going to write world data active. Then here we'll write world data recovered dot to string. For this also string, and world data deaths to string. Save it, and now you can see the actual values, actual statistics. Right, done. Makes sense. Now next thing is let's see the UI first. And right, next thing is this button, the regional button. On clicking this button, you'll get this screen, this country screen. We'll see the country screen afterwards. First, let's make a button here. So for that, go to your text where you wrote the worldwide. Instead of the worldwide. Now in this text, what we're going to do is wrap it with row, and after just copy this again, wrap it with a container. Why? Because we want to give a background to it. So we'll wrap it with container, change its size to maybe 16, and instead of worldwide we'll write regional. Right, done. Now we'll change the color to white because our background gonna be a pretty black one. So to make it visible, we're gonna change it to white, and then as a color I'll write dark it is primary dark, primary black. Save it, and you can see that we have something going on, and just wrap. And now we want some padding between the text and the container. So for padding, I'm gonna give it 10 pixels padding from all the sides. So there you go, you can see that it is up and running. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna just shape it somehow. We're gonna give it a round shape. So for decoration, box decoration, whenever you're declaring a box decoration, don't forget to just cut this color from there and put it inside the box decoration property, otherwise you'll get an error. Now we'll have the border radius dot circular and give it a radius of 10. This will work, right? Maybe 15. It looks better. Set the main axis alignment to be says a space between, right? So there you go, we have a space between both the widgets. Now this UI looks much better, cool, and it is now complete. Now let's move on to our this most affected countries. Now this is how I use this API. This API gives you, by default, will give you all the data of countries from descending order of the affected cases. So I just fetched only 5 cases. So I'm just showing the top 5 cases so that we get so that we can just analyze and fetch the important information out of the data, right? So what we're gonna do is inside this panels, right click, make a new file, most affected country. That's it. Import the material package and stateless widget, name it as most affected panel, right? This panel is not most affected, but it will be showing most affected stuff, right? Now for that, let's quickly as a child pass list_view.builder. Now why I'm using list_view.builder, because this list will be built on the basis of the API calls, on the basis of the data that we'll get from the API, right? I'll tell you how we can fetch it. So for the item builder, I'm gonna pass context index, and we're gonna return a normal container from this right now. Nothing too fancy, right? And for the item count, maybe we can write 5. Done. Now next thing, how are we gonna get the data? What is the API call for that? So instead of this all, just write countries. Right? If you write countries, you will get all the data as a list of maps. Always analyze the structure of the response that you are getting. In this, first there is a list, then there are maps, right? So for that, go to your home page, and we're gonna just copy this function again, paste it below. Instead of this map, we're gonna write list world data, rename it to country data, and instead we'll write fetch country data. Done. Instead of this all, change it to countries, and instead of this world data, change it to country data. So that's it. We have our list. See, it's that easy. Copy the above function and change the values to URLs and the variables. Now you will get a list of country data, but this function is yet to be called. Don't forget it. After this fetch worldwide data, call this fetch country data. Done. Now the thing is to pass this country data to the most affected countries panel, right? So what we're going to do is, after this worldwide, let me just copy this worldwide text from here, and I'm gonna paste it here. Instead of this worldwide, I'll write most affected countries and save it. There you go. You can see that you got a text going on for you, and just give it a padding symmetric from horizontal axis. A 10 pixel padding will do it. Done. Now after this, we're gonna write most affected panel. That is, after this, the most affected panel will be shown, but the data is yet to be passed into the most affected panel countries. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a final list country data, and inside this we'll make a constructor out of that. Now go to your home page, and inside this most affected panel, just pass this country data as country data. Country data is null. If it is null, then show an empty container. An empty container is void. It will not take up even a bit of space. Now it's better to not to use that again and again. So I'll stick with this, and I'll be showing a container. It's your choice, whatever you want. So let's move on to the most affected panel, and inside this container I'll give it a row as a child, and as children, let's see what we can do. Let's see the API first. We're getting the country name as this, right? And then we can get the flag from country info flag. And today dates is 31, total date. We'll be showing the total date because I'll be using the death as a parameter to be stating any country as the most affected countries, because it's a big loss if people are lost, right? So let's move. So let's see the UI first so that we can get a good idea out of it. So you can see that we have the flag first, and then we have the country name, and then the deaths in red color. So it's a row. You can understand this, right? So let's quickly make it. So first what we're going to do is image.network, and how we're going to fetch the UI. As you can see from here, we go to the index value, and then we'll go to the country info, and there we'll use the flag key. So what we're going to do is country data, the index value, country info, and inside this we have our flag. After that we have a text, and what is inside the text? Country data, index, and after that we'll write country and we'll get the country name. And after that we have a text, we'll say it like deaths, and then after that concatenate a string, and what we're going to concatenate country data, index, and then deaths. That's it, right? Now we have to style this. Style, I'm gonna color it in red color. Right, done, and we have to bold it out. Okay, that's cool. Now for the country also, we're gonna style it and just bold it out. Right. For the image, I think I'll be giving it a height of 30 pixels only, because I don't want the flag to overflow anywhere. As you can see that we have set up everything. One thing, this deaths is in integer, so convert it into string. And then one more thing, we'll just put the value of string wrap to be true, because list view builder by default will take up the entire space, so we have to constrain it. So we use the string wrap value to true. Now let's restart this app and see what happens. So you can see a circular progress indicator, and there you go. We have the text, but we need to give some padding, right? So after this we'll just write size box and give it a width of 10 pixels. I'm gonna copy this up and paste it after this text also. Right, done. Now for this container, as a margin, I'll just give it a symmetric margin of horizontal axis to 10. There you go. And for vertical also, I guess I think think I can give it 10 pixels. So looks better, right? Maybe 5 will do. Right, 5 looks better, but we would like to give some spacing here, so we'll go to home page, and after this text, what we're gonna do is, after this, I'm gonna give it a size box and a height of 10 pixels and save it. There you go, we got some spacing around there, so it looks better, cooler, right? So next thing will be, let's see the UI. So next thing that we have is we have some more spaces, and the flags are pretty small than this UI, so we'll change it, don't worry. Then we have the info panel, and let's make the info panel, and then we'll see what can be done, right? So for changing the size of this flags, what I'm going to do is go to this most affected panel and change the height to maybe 20. So we'll do, now this is looking much, like 25 will do, right? 25 is good, fine. Now next thing is right, there is more spacing, right? So we're going to do so what we're going to do is vertical padding to 10. Yes, now it looks much better, much cleaner, and very much like the UI that we want, right? So after this we have the info panel, so let's make the info panel. Quickly go to panels and right click on it and make the info panel. Name it as info panel, right? Now quickly import the material package. In this material package, a stateless widget, and I'll name it as info panel. Right. Now this info panel, inside this container, I'm gonna give it a column. Why column? Because you are getting because we have 3 buttons, and these are actually containers. So let's see. So in children, I'm gonna pass 3 containers. Actually, I'll write the 1 container and then copy this 3 times, right? So what we're gonna do, for the color, I'm gonna give it primary black, and then as a child, I'm gonna give it a row, and as children, I'll pass a text saying FAQs. Now let's style it. To style it, change the color to white, hold it out, and the size would be, I guess, 22, or maybe, yeah, let's stick with let's try with 20, maybe 80, and we'll see if it works or not. And after that, we're gonna give it an icons of arrow forward, and then color it as white. Right, done. Now what we're gonna do, go to home page, and after this most affected panel, just write info panel, right? Go to info panel. As a margin to this container, I'm going to give it a symmetric margin for vertical 5 and horizontal as 10. See, you can see that from starting also we are giving a horizontal padding of 10 pixels, so we will be maintaining that, so that if everything is organized, the application automatically looks cooler and better. So let's save it, and you can see a panel. Okay, you can see that this list is scrollable, so we have to change it to not scrollable. Go to most affected countries, and for this list we dot builder as physics, right? Never scrollable, scroll physics. That is, I want the whole UI to scroll, but not the list itself to scroll. Save it, and you can see that now the whole UI is scrolling. Now next thing is this FAQ section. This is not at all looking code actually. So what we're gonna do is go to info panel, and for this row I'm gonna just give it a padding, not at all looking better. So for horizontal padding, I guess I'll give it 20. So for vertical padding, I guess I'll give it 10. It looks better, right? So for margin I'll give it asymmetric. Vertical only, symmetric. Vertical as 5 and horizontal as 10. There you go. Now looks sharp, better, right? And I'll just increase this vertical padding to 12 here, so that we get some cool effects going on. After that, I'm gonna copy this container up and paste it 3 times, because we have 3 containers out there. Now we have the 3 buttons as expected. Now what I actually personally like is, go to your home page, and after at the end just give it a sized box of height 50, so that you get extra 50 pixels padding from the bottom. Let me show you. Now you can scroll up to the view, and you can also see the 3 buttons, right? So let's see in the titles. So first is FAQs, done, and second is donate, and okay, and second is, I guess, Mythbusters. Let's see the UI. Second is donate, and then is Mythbusters. So we're gonna write Mythbusters, save it, and there you go. It's looks cooler. I want the arrow to be shifted here, so what we're gonna do is, for the main axis alignment of this row, change it to space between, save it, and there you go. You can see I'm gonna copy it and paste it in each row below. There you go. The button looks much cooler and the UI looks much cleaner and complete now. Now what we're gonna do is the events on these buttons. So for that, on this container I want to open the FAQs page, and on this container I want to open the web page of the WHO to donate, right? And for Mythbusters also, I'll be opening the web page of the Mythbusters on WHO site. So for that, open your Chrome and write Mythbusters. So this is the web page for Mythbusters, and for funding, I guess this is the page. So donate now. So these are the 2 URLs that I'll be using. First one is this, and second is this. I'll be pasting the URLs in description also, so you can go there and help yourself. And let's just copy it first, the Mythbusters. So what we're gonna do is wrap this container in with a gesture detector, and on tap just pass write launch. Now this launch function is from the URL launcher package that we used, and inside this we're gonna pass the URL. That's it, done. Your work is over for this. Now next is for the donate part. Wrap this container with gesture detector. Just the repetition of the steps, but with different URLs. For this, open the page and copy the URL and paste it here. Save it. Now let us just try. If you click on donate, there you go. You can see that the donate page is being open. There you go, done. And if you click on Mythbusters, you can see that WHO's Mythbusters page is getting open. So your work is pretty much safe, and as well as these are the reliable sources, so we can rely on them. Done. Go to your home page, and after this info panel, give it a sized box of height maybe 20, and after this we'll write a text in which I'll write we are together in the fight, right? And we'll just style it up, bold it, so we'll just bold it out. And after this, for size part, I'll just give it a 16 pixels, and there you go. You can see that this is now just sticking to there. What we will do is just wrap it with center, I guess, and there you go. Our work is done, right? And now next part is the FAQ section. So inside the slave folder, create a new package and name it as pages, because we'll be creating two pages. One is for the FAQ and one is for the country. So new and new.File, name it as FAQs. And inside this, import the material package, create a stateless widget and name it as FAQ page. Now inside this, pass a scaffold. After that, app bar. Inside this app bar, as a title, we're gonna pass FAQs, right? After this, for the body, now note here that I'll be using this view dot builder and item builder, context, pass context and index as the parameters, and we'll return expansion tile from here, expansion tile, and as a title to this expansion tile, I'll pass a text, and in text I'll pass the question that I have in the list. So I'll write data source dot question answers, index, and the question. Right, done. And for the children, I'll pass another text. Just write data source dot question answers, index, and I'll pass answer. And that's it I guess for this. And go to your home page. Okay, go to the info panel. Where is it? There you go. And for the FAQ, wrap it with just director, and on tap, just navigate to the FAQ page. So to navigate, we write navigator dot push material page root, and for builder we pass text, and from here we'll return FAQ page. Done. Save it, and when we click on this FAQ, you can see that we have this going on for us, right? We have some kind of error, I guess. Okay, invalid value not in range. Okay, why it is invalid value? Because go to FAQ page, for this list view builder we haven't given any item count, so it is forming an infinite loop. So for item count, I'll give data source but question answers list dot length of the question answer. That's it. There you go. Looks much better, and we have the FAQs and the answer setup. For this, let me just give it a padding so that it is all aligned. There you go. Looks much better. And for the title, I'll just give it a styling and just bold it out. There you go. Now our FAQ page is ready. Looks better. We made. So now only one page is left to be made, that is the country by statistics. So for that, inside this page, new dot file, and write country page dot. Right, now import the material package. I want the country page to be a stateful widget, because I'll be again calling the same API rather than passing it from the home page. So it will be like stateful widget, country page, right? And we'll just copy this function, exact same function from here, and paste it in country page. That's it, done. Right, we'll import the required packages. So the packages are http as http and the convert library from the Dart. That's it, the errors are gone. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a list view builder, list view dot builder. The item builder will be taking context and index as a parameter, and inside this we'll return a container right now. And for the item count, this time we'll not create that mistake again. For the item count, how to create the item count, it will be like country data. If the country data is null, then 0, otherwise country data dot let. That's it, done. Okay, now next thing is we have to pass okay, now we have to actually pass it inside scaffold, right? So we'll write, because it's a new page, so we want a scaffold out of here, and as an app bar I'll pass app bar, and we'll write its title, we'll write country stats, and as body we'll pass this list view builder as a body. So we'll cut it and paste it inside body. That's good, right? So let me just reformat this. There you go. Now we have the okay, now let's link this button with this page. So go to home page where you have created this button. So where is it, where is it, where is it? Worldwide, there you go, there it is. So we'll wrap this container with a gesture detector, and on tap we're gonna navigate to the country page. Right, navigator dot push shoot folder. Right, done. Save it, makes sense. And we'll go to this. You can see an empty screen. Why? Because we haven't created any elements in country page. So first of all, in init state, call this function because we want the fetching to be started as soon as this function is loaded, this page is loaded. So we'll write fetch country data, right? Now after this, inside body we'll write, if this country data equal null, then show a circular progress indicator at the center, otherwise show the list view builder. Done. Now let's see what we can do. For the container part, I'm gonna wrap this container into, I guess, 130 height. I'll give it a 130 height. For the decoration, box decoration, I'll give it a color of white. Now let me tell you an interesting fact. The scaffold widget is not at all having a pure white color. This white is different. It is having a white color with some opacity, a bit of whitish color. So that's why the white color can be distinguished from the scaffold color. So we'll not be changing the scaffold color, but this white color will be distinguished from the scaffold. So for shadow, I'll pass a box shadow of color gray, a very light version of gray, because I don't want the shadow to be so much. I don't want the shadow to be more appealing than the content itself. So blur radius as 10, and the offset as, I guess, 0, and 10 will go, right? So now for the content part, as a child, Let's see. For the child, I'll pass a row. Inside this row as a children, I'll pass two expanded widgets. Why I'm passing expanded widgets? Because I want the inside this row as children, I'll pass one container, right, and another as an expanded container. Why I'm using expanded? Because I want the other part, that is the other part will have, let me just show you the UI. So as you can see that this other part, I want the other part to contain all the, to cover up the space, and that's it behind the, that's it all behind this expanded. So we have a column here, column with the USA, that is the country name and the flag name, and then we have all the statistics for this. So same API, same data. So what we're gonna do inside this container, as a child we're gonna pass a column, and inside this column as children, first will be the image.network. So what was the URL? Country data, index, and then the country info. After that, what else we have? Flag, right? And I'm gonna wrap, maybe give it a height of 40, I guess 40 will do, and also a width of 50. That's it, done. Now after this, oh okay, before this, right, above this I'm gonna give it a text of country data, index, and then country. I'm gonna style it. Style in the sense I just bold it out, right? So text style, weight, font weight, bold. And now for this container, I'm also gonna give it a margin. And vertical as 10. Try to understand this. I'm try to picture this UI. This is a container. I've given a column, and then I've given some margin so that I get these gaps, right? So let's save it and see what happens. Save it. Yes, first save. Okay, so the country data is not yet fetched, right? So let's restart this app and see if the country data is fetched or not. So there you go, our home page is up and running. Let's go to regional, and you can see the indicator, and there you go. So we have, there you go. That's what I was telling you, that these containers will be distinguishable distinguishable. So as you can see that these containers are actually distinguishable. So for the height of these flags, I guess I can increase the height by 50 and width to 16, I guess. Yeah, that'll look much better. And for the column, I'll just wrap this main axis alignment as center. There you go, these are in the center. Now for the other part, let me just give it a margin so that I get some spaces here also. So I'll write this edge inserts symmetric from horizontal, it will be 10 pixels. So there you go, I got some starting for the flags from the left and right also. Now next thing is this expanded widget. Now here also as a child to it, I'm gonna pass a column, and inside this column as children, I'm gonna pass text and just copy these text 4 times. Well, let's see what we're gonna pass. We'll write confirmed colon concatenate which value, country data, index, and then cases, right? So let me just copy this 4 times and remove all the text from below, because we have it covered, right? So then we have active, change it to active, and don't forget to change it to toString, because we are getting integer values in these. So our text widget always expects string to be passed. So never ever just take care of this, right? So after this we have recovered, and we have deaths. Now for the color part, let's just style it. Let's just style them out. So it will be style weight would be, I guess, pulled out, and then we have the color property. The first one color will be red, right? I'm just gonna copy this style from here and paste it in each text to save some time. Don't forget to change the colors here. Okay, so first one is red, then is blue, then is green, and then we have a dark grayish color. Save it, and you can see the data here. So I'll just main axis alignment center, and there you go, we have the stuff going on for us. Now what I did in the now let me just go back, and you can see that our app is now complete, our UI is now complete. So that's it for this part. I'll add some tweaks for it in the coming videos, or maybe on the GitHub repositories. So hope you like this video, hope you enjoy this video. I tried my best to make it as simple as possible and explain it with simplicity in mind, so that everyone can understand, and it takes a lot of effort to make these kind of videos, and I hope I've made it clear to you. And hope you like this video, hope you learned something from this video, hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want more videos like this, and don't forget to write in the comments how you feel about this. Any suggestions, any requests, I'll be there to help you, and I'll make the video as soon as possible. And so any questions, any doubts, you can ask in the comments. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you like this video. Hope you are having a nice day. Goodbye.